my god, it's happening again. Let's go. Okay, I'm gonna be real. I was not expecting this. I mean, we had gotten signals for a while that Simon was getting Hytale and it was gonna happen again, but nobody knew what was going on. Also, it just kind of dawned on me that a lot of you guys probably don't even know what Hytale is, or if you do, you barely know anything. You've probably heard the name, and you probably figured that these guys, Hypixel, are making it. But besides that, what else is there to it? Oh boy, let me catch you up to speed. For the past 7 years, I have been probably slightly brainwashed into a cult of, I guess, just being an evangelist for this game and thinking it's like the best thing ever and it's gonna change everything. It's like the next toilet paper in terms of innovation. Well, not maybe okay, toilet paper may have it beat, but it's pretty good. I figure I should probably, like, I guess, recap a little bit what's been going on so that you guys understand it, or maybe you don't even care but you're interested in listening. TLDR, a while back, we're talking like 2017, 2015, like early Minecraft days, there was these people named Hypixel that were very good at making things, specifically a Minecraft server, but also like Herobrine's Mansion and all these like cool stuff and worlds and maps and stuff and things and stuff, and I don't know what I'm saying. So back in the day, Hypixel made this little game called Turbo Kart Racers, which, if you can imagine, is kind of like Mario Kart, just, you know, a little bit wonkier because it's in Minecraft. But they spent so much money and time and resources making this thing, and they were so impressed with it, just to realize there's so many limitations and just like finickiness with like how it works. And that is simply because Minecraft is just not a very optimized game. Heck, as a server owner nowadays, I can attest for this, that there's so many things that it just feels restricting inside Minecraft, but we have no choice. We gotta do it because we're running a game inside of a game. But it doesn't even stop there. At one point in the past, Mojang decided to update the EULA. The EULA is basically like a guidelines for what everybody playing Minecraft and creating stuff inside Minecraft is allowed and not allowed to do. And the most relevant part for server owners is a part about monetization, such as what can you sell and provide in terms of services or paid services for your players. Back then, in the early days of Minecraft, it was very much a Wild West where you could pretty much do whatever. So you'd see servers do all types of stuff. But then Mojang came in and decided to restrict that a bit, make sure there's no predatory things going on. And although that is very good and very fair to do, it also resulted in servers taking a big hit to their potential revenue. In fact, there's an article out there where apparently Hypixel themselves took about a 70% hit in revenue between that time. And then, of course, there was one other catastrophic event that happened in 2017 that some of us may recall. Fortnite. Now, Fortnite was revolutionary. It was a free-to-play battle royale game where the livelihood of the developers was just consisted based on microtransactions, primarily on cosmetic. Because the game was free, they were able to get so many players that pulled so many players from other games such as Minecraft that even then, as a player, I remember this being the dark age for servers and YouTubers. It was hard, man. It was, you were scraping by. It was like a freaking famine going on, but for views and money. And that is where we cue in that these guys decided that enough is enough. They gotta take fate into their own hands by making their own game where they can be the masters. It's quite interesting because back in the day, Hytale wasn't meant to be a sandbox Minecraft similarity, right? They weren't even sure what they were gonna make. They were looking at making like a platformer, a shooter, all types of things. But then they realized, wait a minute, we're just very good at modding in voxel-based games. Why don't we just make our own? So they were hard at work working on this game, but one thing became very clear. Due to the massive decrease in revenue from the Minecraft server, Hypixel need to source additional funding. And so they got to work, working on a trailer. The trailer that we all have seen back in 2018 on December 13th. The trailer that got 60 million views that we all love. If you haven't seen it, watch this. Okay, so apparently they actually privated the YouTube video, so I gotta download it from some questionable website. But here it is, the Hytale trailer. I found it, and the opening scene is just so cool. Goodbye 20 chunk render distance. Look at this. It's like freaking Stardew Valley on crack. Okay, the detail in this inside it's just freaking crazy. Look at this. Oh, that exploration, like them just showing, like going out. Look at the ambience. There's so many scenes. Oh my god. Oh, and the bosses, or like the fights, man. Oh my, the PvP, dude. It's a freaking Lord of the Rings. The dwarves riding into battle on a goat. I can't get enough of this trailer, man. Even got scuba diving and pufferfish. Well, I guess Minecraft is pufferfish, but still. Shipwrecks? No, shipwrecks are also in Minecraft. Still, there's things, new wars, dungeons with goblins. Oh, but bosses, more bosses, cool gear and weapon types, looting. They got Sky Wars. Okay, the only thing I will criticize is they did have like bedrock place blocks over there, which is not very epic, but still, the rest of this is very cool. They got walls and survival games, modding, scripting. Oh god. It's Hytale! Yes! Ah! I'm freaking out. It's so cool, man. It's just so cool. Next thing we know, it's just all a scam, man. It's all a lie. No, the horror. But do you guys understand the hype now? So as you can surmise, the trailer did phenomenally. Like I said earlier, 60 million views. It went absolutely bonkers, bro. Everybody was talking about Hytale. Oh my god. This game became quickly one of the most aspired games in the entire world, only being beaten by like games like GTA. Speaking of which, that became kind of a flaw because now they had like AAA level views on their trailer, that amount of hype, and this was just an indie team of like 30 people that were like, you know, server makers. These guys have never made a game before. So what are they supposed to do? So yeah, quickly you can imagine the levels of imposter syndrome that the Hypixel team felt about all this. Therefore, in order to uphold this vision that they have now delivered or promised the public, they looked for outside partners that have experience making successful games. And the one that was most noteworthy was Riot. Now, Riot had made League of Legends and Valorant, so they had some experience in various platforms, but they'd never made a block game before. But at the time, this is back like during 2020, one of Riot's biggest endeavors was expanding into every genre. And this was a perfect way to get into the block games. So in 2020, they bought the game fully from Simon, taking full ownership for its like, you know, funding and operations and everything. And from there, we've seen a couple of reiterations of the game's vision. So at first, when they bought the game, they bought it under the idea of being like a new Minecraft competitor that kind of took some elements from like Terraria and other RPG games. But then something became even crazier, more substantial than ever before, that was making 10 times what Minecraft was earning. And that is Roblox. You know the deal. Everybody knows what Roblox is. Roblox is basically just YouTube for video games, and the platform itself is just like, it's larger than any single game basically. So they started looking at how they can turn Hytale into a Roblox competitor instead of Minecraft, and that's where we got that recode. It turned out to probably not be the best decision, even though it had some good ideas. Unfortunately, that is what led to Hytale's demise, as they no longer knew what that was, and at the end, Riot just did not want to continue funding something that they didn't even know what they were making. And it took until July of this year, 2025, that finally they broke the news to the public and even their own team. And that was released in Noxie's blog post, A Difficult Update for Hytale, which I made a live reaction to, not realizing what I was walking in on. So enjoy!
Difficult update about Hytale. Hey everyone, today I shared some incredible tough news with the Hypixel Studios team. We're ending development on Hytale and beginning the process of winding down Hypixel Studios over the next few months.
Well, that sucks. So Hytale just got canceled. Yeah, that sucks. I don't have any way to sugarcoat that. Oh man, when this came out, I was 16. I was in high school. I was a young lad, just with joy, glee, hopes, and desires. When I saw the trailer, I was taken aback. I'd watched Technoblade's review on it and Captain Sparkle's review, and I knew for a fact this is what I wanted my future to be. This is where I wanted to make content and build a career in. And, like, it looked beautiful, not just to make content out, but to play. Like, look at this. Everything combined. It just looked so freaking cool, man. It was so cool. It had everything. 61 million views. Almost 7 years later. Here we are. The end of a chapter. And now literally all that has just been Uno reversed in the matter of just a couple of months, because Simon was like, why don't I just buy it back? Which, by the way, I'm trying to remember how that all even happened, because all I recall is that one day I was just on Discord and I got spam messaged by half the Hytale community going, pick up the freaking phone, Reddoons! Then I see it. A notification. Ring, ring. It's Tubbo within the Tubbo, popular Minecraft streamer and a good friend of mine. He's doing some sort of stream talking about Hytale and he needs me to hop on.
Yo, Reddoons.
Hello.
Jesus, sorry, you're so loud for me.
I know. I'm handsome.
Check this right now. Check this right now.
Hold on. Whoa. TLDR, he's been hard at work trying to peer pressure Simon into investing millions to buy the game back. And the entire community has just been joining in. They're going, no balls, bro. Dare you to do it. The funniest part is it was actually working. Simon was actually there going like, I could do that, but my wife would question my financial purchases. Oh man, dude, I don't even know what timeline we're living in anymore. In the heat of the moment, I just added on to like the wager with everybody else, going like, all right, if Simon actually buys the game back, I will, I will bet my last name on it. I will change my last name to Hytale so that I am known by Reddoons Hytale in the future if Simon actually succeeds in getting the game back and it comes out. But yeah, after that, you know, nothing really happens. We don't hear anything. Simon does go on to entertain the thoughts a little bit, but it kind of slows down after that until one day we just get the message, him announcing he's going to deep negotiations under NDA with Riot Games. It's actually happening. Oh my god, he's actually doing it. Wait, this is not a joke anymore. Red alert. God, wait, I was making a joke earlier. Oh, no. No. Simon, please, no. You can't be playing with my emotions like this, man. I was here actually coming to terms with the game getting canceled. Now you're telling me there's a chance it's happening again? Unbelievable. It seems like a pipe dream in the moment. Like, Simon himself said, like, most likely there's like maybe like a 90% chance this is not happening. Like, Riot Games, they don't usually sell games to people. If they've decided to cancel something, they just put it on the back burner and forget about it. They don't just offload projects that they've sunk literally hundreds of millions of dollars into. Who would? It doesn't make sense. So yeah, everyone's excited, hoping, wishing, praying upon a shooting star that something will come out of this. And over the next few months, we just hear over and over, he's working on it. Soon, maybe. Like, we'll see how things go. For the longest time, nobody knows what's going on until people start, you know, doing, I guess, investigator journalism and begin to discover Arcanite, Simon's game development studio, is beginning to set up domains. It seems like they're preparing to launch a game. And then bada bing, bada boom, the next thing that happens is blog post drops. They got the game back, baby. Oh yeah, this is the universe. This is the timeline. It happened. Maybe I'm actually going to be able to make Hytale videos after all. Holy frick. I thought it was a done deal. I thought it was never going to happen, but maybe it will happen. We'll see. I'm sorry. I'm just taking a moment to like just think about this entire weird journey of a roller coaster we've been on for the past years. We're actually living in a timeline where Hytale is going to happen. All it took was the game actually getting canceled and then coming back. Either way, moving on, I am very aware that every YouTuber and their mother is going to hyperfixate and hyperanalyze and make a video commentating on this blog post. So I'm just gonna leave it to a TLDR. They bought the game back. Shocker, who would have thought? They mention in there that they're going to announce early access in a couple of days. Speaking of which, I'm gonna segue into going use code Reddit checkout. I don't actually have a credit code yet, but please, Hytale, give me one, and please use it. If I have one, guys, come on, use code Reddit checkout, please. But I haven't been entirely honest. There is actually another reason why I am doing a TLDR on this blog post, and that is because I have actually been in talks with Simon himself, and I got to interview him that I am now permitted to share with you. That is right, baby. Exclusive interview questions coming to you right now. Okay, here we go. The first question I asked, which I think is probably the one most people want answered. What exactly is the exploration mode? It's mentioned in the blog post, but we don't really know what it is. And he tells me exploration mode temporarily replaces adventure, as our vision for adventure mode is far from what it can offer at the moment. We want to add dungeons, epic boss fights, and much more in the future, but to get there, we first need to build a strong core game that feels like home. In exploration mode, you're still going to be able to fight, loot, farm, explore, and build and play with friends. It's more of a prologue to what Hytale will actually be. So almost like a demo. It's using World Generation version 1 while we're finishing up version 2 for Orbis. So I guess the way you can perceive it is that exploration mode is just kind of using what they have at their disposal to get a game to us quickly while they build the actual full game that is going to be considered 1.0, or I guess the adventure game mode. Moving on, the next question I asked is, imagine we are at day 1, launch of Hytale. What does the road ahead look for you and your team? And he goes, in the short to medium term, I want to focus on fast wins for the game. We don't want to work on several months on a single update. We want to bombard the players with constant updates, and when we feel like we've caught up and the core game feels solid, then we will be embarking on bigger updates. We have several milestones we want to achieve, but what matters the most is staying agile in our development to pivot at any time if need be. And I think that's honestly great because, especially in early days of development, you really want to get as much feedback from your community to know what your game will be eventually. And so fixating on making one single feature update for months, even if, like, to make it like complete, may actually be very futile if the community does not agree with that. So them doing this more agile, quick drop development is probably what's going to be best for us. It also means that people like myself are able to make more videos because we're getting constant feature updates. Now, you say you're wanting to make the game you've always wanted to play as a kid, and the one you were proud of for generations to come. Is there a specific system or feature that comes to mind reflecting this? I think when it comes to block games, there's a strong opportunity to have a great fantasy aspect to game genre. Introduce interesting features that are typically in RPGs or even ARPGs. The systems with portals in the endgame we're working on might be as simple at launch, but in the long-term vision, it will be one of the features that truly allows us to expand our creativity. So I suppose, like, really Simon is trying to say here is that he doesn't really want to fixate on it being a block game per se, right? He wants to take it being a block game as a ground base to then add on enriching experiences and features that take it from being its own identifiable game and not just any other block game. So switching things up a little bit, I want to see if Simon can be transparent with us, the community, about what part of the game people will witness very early on and notice is immediately broken or lacking right now. And he was honest. It's missing minigames for early access, which is very upsetting because we are Hypixel after all. We are known for doing minigames since 2013. As for broken things, I think the core game loop is lacking behind. We had to start from scratch, so we did the best we could in a few days given the issues we had to deal with at the time. However, I am confident we will have a great game in a few months. Just need players to be patient. And I wholeheartedly agree with this. I think what he's saying is very fair to say, but also I think the team is being very hard on themselves because games like Minecraft did start very early on with very little features and then developed over time. We're not expecting everything to be perfect at launch. But kind of talking about this idea that like the game is going to be great in a few months, I'm wondering what makes Hytale different day one. For instance, why is a cool mod pack of Minecraft not on the same level as Hytale? And he answers very simply because it does come down to the base things. Movement, combat, vibe, and controls, as well as the world generation tools and ability to mod are very exciting things to them. Now, as a primary multiplayer creator, I asked a question for myself a little bit. Now, how do you see third-party multiplayer working at launch and thereafter? Initially, people will make their private servers, and slowly, as the game matures, we will see more and more public servers coming online. We will support them the best we can. Eventually, when we launch our own minigames, we will be giving out a lot of technology that we use to server owners. And that was just super exciting for me because I one day do want to run a Hytale server, and in the early days we won't know what's there. So seeing this is just awesome. So another thing that's been on my mind is that the vision for Hytale has pivoted a lot over the years with the recodes and everything. And I really want to know what is Simon's specific take and vision for the game. And he responded saying, it's a bit of an RPG/sandbox, but more fantasy based than other block games. I want the art to uplift the game. I want the living world to be worlds apart. If the game is successful, I will invest heavily towards NPC living in the world, having their own lives. I also want to make sure that modding is prioritized while we do this. Doing so will accelerate our development even more. So in the end, what really matters to him more than anything else is that Hytale feels like an enriching world that you explore, not a survival game that has base survival mechanics that you just play. Once again, I'm going to glaze Terraria a little bit. Terraria doesn't really have any survival elements, and therefore you spend so much time going out and exploring the world, fighting bosses, going into dungeons, looting, and it's a very different experience from, say, Minecraft, but it's very cool, and that's exciting to see. And this was my last question for people that are also curious about adventure and exploration mode. In simple terms, what does game progression look like at the moment? What do you imagine a player doing in their first hour, 10 hours, and 50 hours of gameplay? Right now, it's pretty simple. I don't want Hytale to be a survival game. I want Hytale to be an adventure. Easy to learn, hard to master. Horizontal progression, give enough options to players to be creative in combat. Keep in mind, there was no game progression a few weeks ago, so it's bare bone and not great. I will fix it. It is my mission. To conclude, Simon kept, throughout the interview, emphasizing how work in progress everything is and how far everything is from completion, and that he's not yet happy with what is there. But honestly, I think he's being a bit hard on himself because, okay, I could say this now, because I got permission. I have seen clips of gameplay. And it looks so dope. It looks so good. Oh my god, I wish I could tell you guys about it. Oh god, I'm so excited for this game. You have no idea. We're living in a wild timeline right now where things are actually happening, and I'm just now coming to terms with realizing that I may actually have to change my last name to Hytale. Surely I don't actually have to do that, right? You are doomed! Oh no! Oh no!